What exactly is a stick insect? Also known as walking sticks, these insects belong to the order Phasmatodea, and there are more than 3,000 known species spread across every continent except Antarctica. They come in all shapes and sizes, from tiny species just a few centimeters long to giant stick insects that can grow up to 60 centimeters in length, making them some of the longest insects on Earth. But no matter their size, every stick insect shares the same core physical trait: a long, slender, segmented body that mirrors the shape, texture, and even the color of the twigs and branches in their natural habitat. Some species have rough bark-like skin that matches old tree branches, while others have smooth green bodies that blend in with young tender shoots. A few even have small leaf-like protrusions on their legs or bodies to add another layer of realism to their disguise. But the most important part of their act is not just how they look, it is how they move. The moment you observe a stick insect in its natural home, you will notice its most fascinating behavior. It sways slowly back and forth, as if it is being blown by a soft breeze, even when there is no wind at all. This gentle rocking motion is not accidental. It is a deliberate action that reinforces its disguise as a twig. Think about how a real branch moves in the wind: slow, unhurried, and consistent, and that is exactly how a stick insect moves. When a bird, lizard, spider, or other small predator looks for food, it relies on movement to spot living prey. Most insects scurry, fly, or jump, which immediately catches a predator's eye, but the stick insect does the opposite. It moves so slowly and rhythmically that its motion matches the movement of the surrounding vegetation, tricking the predator's brain into thinking it is just part of the tree, not a tasty meal. Scientists have studied this behavior for decades, and they have found that stick insects do not need to see the wind to start swaying. Their bodies are wired to respond to the slightest vibration in the branch they are standing on, triggering the rocking motion automatically. It is an instinct so deeply ingrained in their DNA that even newly hatched stick insects, no bigger than a grain of rice, will start swaying as soon as they climb onto a plant. To understand how powerful this illusion is, we need to look at the predators that hunt stick insects. Birds are their biggest threat, with sharp eyesight that can detect the smallest movement from high in the sky. A bird flying overhead will scan the treetops for insects, but when it sees a stick insect swaying like a twig, its brain does not register the insect as food. It registers it as part of the tree. Lizards and small mammals that hunt on branches have the same reaction. They are programmed to look for quick, erratic movement, not the slow, steady sway of a plant. Even spiders, which use webs and vibrations to catch prey, are often fooled by the stick insect's gentle motion, as it feels like a branch moving in the wind rather than a struggling insect. This simple, elegant behavior has allowed stick insects to survive and thrive for more than 100 million years long before humans walked the earth, and it is a perfect example of how evolution shapes creatures to fit their environment in the most amazing ways. Stick insects do not rely on swaying alone to survive. They have a whole set of backup tricks to keep their disguise intact. Many species can change their color slightly to match the season or the type of tree they are living on: green in the spring and summer, when leaves are fresh brown in the fall, and winter when branches are bare. Some can even shed a leg if a predator grabs it, a process called autotomy, and grow a new one back over time. Their feeding habits also help them stay hidden. They eat only leaves, and they do so slowly and quietly, never making enough noise or movement to attract attention. They are most active at night, which means they avoid the daytime predators that are most likely to spot them, and they spend their days sitting completely still on branches, their bodies pressed flat against the wood to eliminate shadows that could give them away. When they rest, they tuck their legs tight against their bodies, so their outline looks exactly like a solid twig, not an insect with multiple limbs. Every part of their behavior and body is designed to support the single goal: to be mistaken for a branch. The habitat of the stick insect plays a huge role in how effective its camouflage is. Most species live in warm, humid tropical rainforests, where there are endless trees, bushes, and vines to hide in. The dense vegetation means there are always twigs to mimic, and the constant, gentle breeze in the forest keeps the stick insect's swaying motion looking natural. Other species live in temperate woodlands, grasslands, and even deserts, adapting their body shape and color to match the local plants. In Australia, for example, there are stick insects that mimic dry grass stalks, swaying in the hot desert wind, while in South America, some species mimic thorny jungle vines, their bodies covered in small spines to match the plant they live on. No matter where they live, stick insects evolve to match their specific surroundings perfectly. a process called adaptive camouflage, and their swaying behavior is always tailored to the way the local plants move in the wind. One of the most incredible things about stick insects is that their young, called nymphs, are born knowing how to perform this disguise. When a stick insect egg hatches, the tiny nymph climbs to the nearest plant and immediately starts swaying, even though it has never seen an adult stick insect do it. This proves that the behavior is not learned, it is innate, passed down through generations as a vital survival tool. The eggs themselves are also part of the disguise. They are small, round, and look exactly like plant seeds, so they are often left untouched by predators on the forest floor until they hatch. Some female stick insects can even reproduce without a male, a process called parthenogenesis, which means they can lay fertile eggs on their own and keep their population going, even if there are no males nearby. This adaptability, combined with their perfect camouflage and swaying illusion, makes stick insects one of the most successful insect groups on the planet. As humans, we often overlook small insects like stick insects, but they are a vital part of the ecosystem. They eat leaves and help control plant growth, and they are a food source for small predators when their disguise fails, keeping the food chain balanced. They also teach us an important lesson about survival. You do not need to be strong or fierce to survive in the wild. Sometimes, all you need is to be quiet, adapt, and blend in. The stick insect's ability to turn itself into a twig and sway with the wind is a masterpiece of nature, a reminder that the natural world is full of hidden wonders and clever solutions that we are only just beginning to understand. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel.